Well, you can always watch us live on YouTube now, streaming there. All the shows are. Wolf, I'm looking through the chat, and there's a lot today.
Really?
it's taking me like the whole break to catch up, but I'll just go at the very top, the very first comment for our show today, okay?
Yeah, okay.
King Nacho, Beal must go.
Beal must go.
That's how it started. There's a lot more in there. People talking about Dillon Brooks, people talking about what you can do with the 10th pick, obviously. Bobby said Wolf is spot on with 3 exclamation points, but I don't know what he was talking, like what he was referring to.
Yes.
So just know at one point you were spot on.
Okay. Well, that's important right there. That's encouraging as well. I just have no idea what the spot on point was.
Well, you celebrate your victories.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. So how about this is the biggest thing to me, and I wonder. It's weird. Like some Suns fans are like, I hate this trade. This is awful. This is what are we doing? Like this is, and then there are some that are just like, I'm going to get on board. And there are some that like it for like legitimate reasons. And there are some that are just like, I'm going to get on board no matter what. And I'm really hesitant to do that. I'm going to get on board no matter what thing because I've done that in the past. Now, different group, obviously. It was not Matt Ishbia. It was not Jordan Ott. This was, 6, 7, 8, 9 years ago where it was like, oh, yeah, okay, we picked Josh Jackson. I'm sure he's going to be amazing. And then, I mean, we know how that turned out. And Marquise Griss and all the Dragan Bender. Like, I mean, I'm just realizing we're going back to that era potentially if they don't get these picks right.
You didn't know if you wanted to. You were like, okay.
I really want to go back there.
Okay, am I going to say Marquise Griss?
I just wonder if they could have gotten another piece from Houston. I'm surprised they didn't, actually. I thought there was when the trade was initially reported, I was like, I'm missing part of the post.
Well, for me, again, I expected more. I'm with you on this. I thought it was underwhelming, and the reason being is because the Houston Rockets were one of the 3 teams that Kevin Durant said he wanted to go to. And that means, of course, that the Houston Rockets will have Kevin Durant most likely for the next 3 years. Not just 1 year, but the next 3 years. And because of that, you would have liked to have seen a little bit more of a return for the Phoenix Suns. And if you would have told me that Jalen Green and Jabari Smith Jr. were traded, those 2 guys specifically, to the Phoenix Suns, I'd be okay with this. Yeah. I think I'd be okay. Even if you didn't get another first-round pick.
That was the trade where I think everybody wins. Houston wins because, again, they don't really need these guys, especially if they have Durant. They don't really need these guys. So Houston wins, and the Suns win because now you have a couple pieces. Again, you're right. It was always going to be underwhelming. I think you said in your email it was like underwhelming but not discouraging. I think that's a good way to put it.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I was hoping we weren't going to have to talk ourselves into it. I still feel like I kind of have to talk myself into this. Well, Jalen Green could, and I am intrigued by Jalen Green. The 10th pick, like people are like, oh, it's a lottery pick. It's not really a lottery pick. Like you already know it's the 10th pick. It's not like you have a chance to win the lottery. You're picking 10th. So you better nail that pick. You cannot mess up that pick. Now, I will say this just to clear this up because I saw this in the chat a little bit too, and maybe I didn't say it quite right. I'm not saying they should have kept Kevin Durant and then signed him to an extension. I understand this trade needed to happen. I just don't think your team gets – there are some people that look at it and say, because you got rid of him, you're automatically better. It's not that. I understand you had to trade him, but I don't think your team is better today because you got rid of him. Maybe it's better because you got pieces back. But I'm not looking at the trade as like, well, they got the number 10 pick and Jalen Green and got rid of Kevin Durant and got Dillon Brooks. I'm not looking at it that way. Don't see it that way.
One of the things I love about this now, the Suns are in play for the 2025 NBA draft. This is kind of cool, is it not? They are in play for this. I mean, went from absolute garbage to 4 picks in this draft. Now all of a sudden I'm kind of liking that. Don't take Derek Queen though. Okay, please. Can I throw that in there right now? Don't take.
Oh, we're gonna veto picks. Let me throw one out. Don't take Jace Richardson.
Okay.
No, sorry. Go ahead.
All right. That's really Sparta.
If you. Never mind. Just go ahead, Wolf.
Look, I'm just saying we don't need a hyper-talented player that lacks defensive intensity and doesn't want to work out right now. Don't take
that.
Derek
Seems like
Queen,
an issue.
Okay?
I'm going to say
because he's not a good culture fit. Ron Wolfley estimating.
I'm going to say we don't need another Spartan that's a shooting guard. That's what I'm going to say.
Okay.
How about there's one guy in this draft that you really can't take. Now, if that's who Derek Queen is, then you're right. They don't need that either. The bigger thing is you better nail that pick. That's the only way this really works, is you have to nail the number 10 pick. You have to. No pressure, but you have to.
By the way, Brian, can I talk to you for a minute, Brian? This is really big, and this is going to be the organization's first swing under the new regime right now, and we need to nail the number 10 pick.
You have to.
Okay. Don't get me started on this. Should the Suns really be looking at the number 1 pick like the dude is going to come in here, he's going to change everything? No, of course not.
Well,
But if he wants to, it's okay with us if he does.
What do you think was most important to them in this trade that they got? The number 10 pick or Jalen Green or Dillon Brooks? Because you could have waited
the
through
number
the draft.
10 pick.
Yeah, that's
got to
right?
be the number 10 pick.
The fact that they were so adamant that the trade had to be done before Wednesday means it was the number 10 pick, because Jalen Green and Dillon Brooks would still have been available on Friday.
Yeah. Yeah. Looking at Jalen Green and Dillon Brooks, and I see two different ends of the spectrum here.
Okay.
And yet, to me, I think there was a big part of this where the Phoenix Suns wanted Dillon Brooks. It wasn't just to make the salaries work.
Yeah.
I think a big part of it was I could be dead wrong on this.
No, I think you're right.
But I think there's a big part of it that was like, yeah, we need that guy. That guy is going to be our Jay Crowder. That's who that guy is going to be. Yo, look at Jay Crowder. I love the way Jay Crowder went about his business. I'm just going to do this here quickly, based on things. I love the way that Jay Crowder goes about his business. Jay Crowder was tough. He was physical, yet he was respectful, being tough and physical and going to brawl. That was Jay Crowder. Dillon Brooks is tough, and he's physical, and he plays defense, and he brings intensity. But he instigates stuff, and that's what I don't like. I don't want an instigator. I don't want somebody that's what he does. He feels like that's his role, to go up there and disrespect somebody and do disrespectful things to people and instigate. I don't want that. Why don't you just go out, be tough, be physical, and play hard?
So
just do that.
So you don't want him to call LeBron old in a playoff series?
No. I'm just saying no. I don't want to do that. I don't want to instigate. Yeah, Basinonians, can I tell you something? Okay, when I played the game of football, I would never cheap shot a guy. I promise you, I never cheap shotted a guy in my life. Unless he jigged me in the eye first.
Well,
okay.
The first guy is typically Dillon Brooks.
Okay, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Don't be the first guy who does it. Don't be the instigator. Don't be that guy. My young crunk brothers, play hard, play tough, play physical. Ugh, give it all you've got. Don't be the guy that's going to cheap shot somebody or instigate stuff, trying to get under his skin. Just get under his skin by being you and competing hard. Don't try to do it and instigate it. It's bull.
The reason I think you're right that they wanted him is Dillon Brooks is like, he's like if AI created the player you go out and add when you're mad. And Matt Ishbia was, I think, rightfully so, clearly mad when this season ended. Like, clearly frustrated, clearly angry, right? Well, when you're angry and frustrated, you go out and you add Dillon Brooks because he's going to start fights and he's going to make life miserable for other teams. And there are parts of his game that I love. There are parts of his game fit exactly what Matt Ishbia said at the end of the season he wants. But there are other parts where, like, I go back and forth on this, Wolf. I feel like in some ways he has more value if you're a playoff team, and the Suns aren't going to be a playoff team almost certainly. He doesn't have as much value if you're playing Memphis on a Tuesday night. But at the same time, in the playoffs, he's also the guy that gets suspended or takes a technical foul at the worst possible time. So I don't know. Maybe this is just the right team to have him on.
Listen, play the game to the floor with blood under your nails, not on your knuckles.
Thanks for watching Wolf and Luke. Tap to see more and click the button in the middle to subscribe to Arizona Sports.